Hello, this is Tim Campbell at Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners and promote them through my social channels and email database, as well as provide them coaching. This is a free service I'm doing because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with JR. Welcome, JR. It's great to have you on the program today.
Hey, Tim, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
So let's jump in with telling us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure. I don't know how deep to go here, but Indiana Hoosier by trade. Went to IU, went to the Indiana Business School, and jumped right in after college to kind of running my own businesses. So I've ran 5 or 6 successful businesses, had several different exits, and onto my next venture this past year with a company called Nexvoo. So excited to tell you about that.
Yeah, so tell us about that. Give us your 60-second commercial of what your business is all about.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's been a challenging year to say the least. Challenging, but brought new opportunities as well. So in 2020, at the beginning of the year, we set off to launch an international unified communications brand. I was over in Amsterdam in early February, and on my way back, it was the start of the COVID, virus and outbreak. So what we had set out to do, in early February, had to get pivoted, and we actually launched an entire company just to support the PPE initiative. So that's gone exceptionally well. We've been shipping product all over the globe, and excited about that, as well as launching the UC brand in 2021 now.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit more about the pivot. What did you have to pivot to, and how did that all work for you?
The aha moment was we got a phone call from our factory over in Xiamen, China, and they had just got an order for over 1 million masks in the country of Italy. So the CEO called me up and said, hey JR, is there going to be a demand over in the US for this, or is this just kind of, random that we got this order? Asked a couple of doctors that I knew, and certainly everybody in the healthcare industry, business owners of healthcare as well. And everybody said, yeah, this is going to be a major issue, and we're going to have major supply issues. Mm. So at that point, we decided to kind of put a launch on hold with the technology side, knowing that people were going to be staying home, and not kind of going into collaborative areas, allowed us to kind of pivot, and we went head force, launched a whole new company, basically Nexvoo Healthcare, with a little different mindset, and that's gone really well over the past year. So it keeps up today, and we don't really see much slowdown. I think with, when does this end, I think is a big question on everybody's mind. And some of the consultants, the doctors, and people who are in the healthcare industry are not going to see us, they're saying it's not going to slow down anytime soon. So hate to say that, but, we've kind of been forced to be innovative and bring new products to market, which I'll share with you in a bit. But
fantastic.
Kind of brought new challenges, but in a good way for us.
So yeah, you just alluded to this. Tell us a little bit more about the innovative products you've been bringing to market to help with the whole virus.
A lot of them were just around the core sourcing. So everything from N95 mask, KN95 mask. We did a lot of, sanitary wipes that were very limited, sanitizers. Lately, it's been the glove shortages globally. We've been helping to bring those into the US and then get those distributed, where we're a little bit different. Everybody else is kind of like, hey, we need 1 million gloves for this government entity. These really big buys, those bring a lot of high risk, and we've kind of stayed away from those. Where we've been supporting is just the smaller businesses, the local dentistry, the local business that doesn't need 1 billion gloves. They just need to source, to help their kind of business run and operate. So we do that. We bring in enough and then break them down into small shipments, which a lot of places can't get. So that's kind of been where we've serviced people.
Yeah. So you alluded to it a little earlier, but I wanted you to dig in a little deeper for us. Is what's been the biggest impact that COVID's had on your business over the last number of months?
I think it's actually innovation. So, where we had started off in 2020 and our vision and roadmap has significantly changed. Where, it was all about the collaborative space, and unified communications. And what does unified communications look like in a corporate boardroom or, maybe a classroom? It's made us pivot to say, well, what happens when the boardroom or the classroom isn't there? What technologies can we bring to the home office or to the remote employee? That's really where we've been focused and brought, we got five or six new products that we just announced at CES this past month there in January. So some exciting new kind of personal at home products that, were not even available in early 2020. So our engineers have been hard at work. So that's good.
Fantastic. So the pivot exercise that you talked about earlier, what made you realize that this was something that you needed to do? Because some businesses put their head in the sand, right, and said, "Hey, this COVID thing, it's going to brush over in a few weeks, so I'm just going to wait it out." What gave you the foresight to know that you had to make a change right away?
I think probably more so than anything is just running businesses in the past. I think I've always been around businesses, and kind of where you always set course for is not really where you end up. So I think, being able to be quick and nimble, and change as you need to, as the market changes is kind of a key of business leadership. So it's something that I've always kind of had to do in my past businesses. As new competitors come on or, new things change, new technologies are introduced, you got to be pretty nimble to kind of roll with the punches. So.
Awesome. Well, here's an interesting question, JR. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what mistakes have you made along the way, and how can other entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
If I had any advice to give, I think it always takes longer and costs more. So, everything takes longer than you think it will, and everything costs more than you expect it to. So make sure you've got the budget and the wherewithal to really make a run at it.
Fantastic. So you alluded to this earlier, but as business owners, we've certainly had to think differently during COVID and pivot. Did you go through any type of internal pivot strategy session that helped you guys to decide of a different direction to move forward with?
No, but I do remember a sales call where I was with the sales leader of our company, and I said, "Steve, I don't think this is the best path for us, to kind of keep heading down this current UC path and launching this in the midst of this global pandemic." And he said, "I think that's stupid." And we kind of ended the call in an argument. And kind of came back the next day. He's like, "Yeah, I think you were right." So together we kind of changed the course and changed the direction and put out some press releases, that got some national publication. And that's really some things that kind of helped pole vault us into some really big opportunities. So
fantastic. So looking forward to the rest of 2021, what areas in your business are you going to need to further adapt in order to excel?
Well, we actually are very focused still on supporting the COVID initiative, and just virus transmission in general. We've got a very exciting new product called Breeze by Nexvoo. So it's what I call the most advanced mask in the world. There's some competitors out there that have been introducing some masks in this space as well. I think we've got by far the best design. So it's a clear, transparent mask that has 2 micro fans built into it. So you can now see people's faces again. People can now breathe. The 2 fans, one is for oxygen intake into the mask, and the other is carbon dioxide out. So as mask wearers go, you kind of hate wearing stuffy masks. You kind of breathe in on yourself. This actually gets that carbon dioxide away from your face. And then it also has a UV light as you plug it in at night and charge it. The UV light kills any kind of virus or bacteria, on the mask. So pretty exciting. We got our first units shipping this week into the US. So I'm excited to get one myself. I've not put it on. Our engineers over in China, helped design it. And the model actually fits down to it. A 9-year-old, all the way up to adult as well. So I've been getting feedback from our engineering team that it's the coolest thing they've seen. So I'm excited to get my hands on it. We've already got a lot of pre-orders, starting to work with a lot of school systems, where they're trying to return to some kind of normalcy. I think this mask can help school systems where, you don't want your student, or kid sitting there, in a classroom with a teacher where they can't see their facial expressions. So there's been a lot of interest from very large districts already talking about adopting this for their teachers and students.
I've seen some of your posts on this, so I was excited to talk to you today to learn more about this mask. So where can people get it?
They could buy it online. And you kind of mentioned earlier that I can kind of give out a code. So anybody can go online to nexvoostore.com. And then Nexvoo is called Nexvoo store.com. And then the code is just Nexvoo 10 off, all capitals.
Okay.
So kind of easy code, just put that in a check off. And you could actually apply that to any order. But if you're interested in the Breeze mask specifically, you can get 10% off that as well.
Fantastic. Well, I'll make sure to include that information in this post so that folks can take advantage of that offer. Second last question here is about that offer. It outside of the website and the offer, is there anything else that you want to make sure people know about your company, or how to get a hold of you, or how to learn more about you?
Yeah, I mean, probably the easiest way is support@nexvooinc.com. Is the easiest way. That gets kind of tracked by a team of people. And again, that's Nexvoo Inc, NEXVOOINC.com. So if email gets in there, it won't get lost. We've got some processes internally that salespeople and internal support people are looking at. So
fantastic. Well, I'll make sure to include all of that contact information and the link to the offer in this post. So JR, last question here. Tell me what's been most inspiring to you during all the craziness of the pandemic?
For us, I think it's just being able to make an impact. We've been shipping worldwide. Very, very cool order that we were involved with was we shipped over 250,000 masks down into the island of Bermuda, and they have about 70,000 people. So we sent about 3 per population. So that was kind of a cool, opportunity to be involved with. And with the launch of this new Breeze product, I think we're going international. We're already setting up manufacturing contracts with other international manufacturers that can be there to support the growth and demand. So I think this one is, there's companies like LG, Razer that have a competitive product out there. Almost looks like a stormtrooper mask, in our competition. So I think we're well positioned with this one and looking just to get it out and, help save people and keep this COVID virus at bay. So
what an awesome mission. So happy that you're able to make a difference. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that and on the tech side too, I think it's just bringing products to the home office, right? So we're going to be forced to deal with this, having a better camera, with a good microphone for video quality, whether it be your desktop now, you can there's products out there, USB cams that we manufacture that are, high quality video and audio that can be purchased very cheaply and enhance the overall experience. So.
Fantastic. Well, hey, JR, that concludes the interview. For those listening, if you've heard anything in this interview that you'd like to get more information on, again, I'll include the contact information and the website address so that you can dig in a little further and get yourself one of those cool masks. For folks who may be running your own business and you've heard things that we've talked about that maybe you're struggling with and you'd like the opportunity to talk through it a little more, I offer complimentary coaching sessions, so please take advantage of that. We can dig into one of your biggest challenges and talk through how to pivot and how to resolve that challenge, and make sure that you reach out and find out more about those masks. I can't wait to get my hands on mine. JR, it's been a pleasure. Sorry?
I said I'll hook you up one for doing the interview. So
awesome. Thank you. That'd be fantastic. JR, it's been a pleasure learning about you and your company, and I wish you tremendous success.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Thanks.